I had this feeling inside that was like, if not now, then when? Because I kept telling myself, you're not ready. This is not the time. Who opens anything during the pandemic? Not you, fool.
Hello, family. Welcome back to the Positive Spa. I am here with the super awesome Ashley Rowe from the Naturally Rose Salon. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody.
So excited to have you here today. I know most of you don't know this, but she is my stylist. So she's responsible for these lovely locks, locks that I have.
That are flourishing and growing awesomely. Thank you.
So now I want to start with some icebreaker questions. And the question that I have to ask everyone who comes on my channel, do you put sugar or butter and salt on grits? What do you use?
Butter and salt.
Thank you.
I'm from South Carolina. I'm from the South. Who puts sugar in grits? That sounds disgusting.
If you could have any superpower in the entire world, what would it be, and tell us why?
I actually just had that question this weekend with my boyfriend and his son. We were watching the Avengers, and I was like, well, what superpower would you like to have? And I said that I wanted to fly as well as move things with my mind. So that's telekinesis.
Okay.
And I want to be able to move things with my mind, because then I could be doing someone's hair and folding towels and cleaning implements all at the same time. And that I really don't like to drive anymore. I don't know if it's the late 30s thing, but I would be able to fly and control my own destiny by flying.
I know a little bit about your background, but I want to kind of dig a little bit. What did you do before you decided to become a stylist?
Okay, well, before I became a stylist, like I said, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I have many different talents. I went to performing arts middle school and high school, so I can sing, I can read music, all that jazz. Got to college and was like, I want nothing to do with music. My major was history and minor in secondary education. Decided that after doing student teaching, I'm not trying to be around nobody's children. I decided to just keep my minor in African American studies. And I've been working in retail since I was 16. So by the time I was 21, I was assistant manager, and I just continued into retail after I graduated from college. And I worked for many different retailers, Target, the Children's Place. The last place I was at Express. But I had a hobby, which was that I enjoyed doing hair. That kind of grew from being in college, and I'm from Charleston, so I was going back and forth. I went to Winthrop and Rock Hill, and my stylist broke off my hair. The color and the relaxer that she put in was too strong, and they just destroyed my hair. And my hair was it wasn't this long, but it was like about this long. And I was like devastated. And I had to basically get my hair back to being healthy. And that's how I learned to do my hair. And just decided one day, hey, I didn't even go into this thinking I was going to make this a career. I was like, I'm going to get my license, and I will always have it in case something in life happens. And I just got my license thinking that I was going to continue on being a manager and not ever doing this. And then it just bit me and it grew. And here I am 4 years later.
Now, how did you find the confidence? Because a lot of people who want to branch out and a lot of people who want to change careers, I think that's like really the hardest thing is the do. Like, just to get the confidence up to just literally like, okay, I'm doing this. Okay, this is my new career. How was that for you? And where did you find that? Just talk to us about that.
Well, the first part of the doing is to you have to humble yourself completely. Because you are not going to know everything, and you're not even going to get it right. Like, I got into my class and I literally was probably the most inexperienced person there. I could not braid, okay? I could do like a little braid, but I could not cornrow. I could not do any of those things. And I'm like, I'm just trying to at least pass the class, right? So you have to start off with humbling yourself and having realistic expectations. Are you about to be the best at this point? No. Are you possibly going to succeed or excel? You might not, but you just have to know that don't put, not to say not to put high expectations on yourself, but not put expectations on yourself that you can't realistically achieve. And then the next part is my best friend was telling me about, because I was just like, girl, I'm gonna have to go to school and work. I can't do that. Like, what do you mean? I'm already working enough, you know, I can't do this. And she told me, do you want to have a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain? So when you're looking at something that seems like it's like astronomical, I don't even think confidence is even it, because I wasn't even confident at that moment. I just knew that I needed something and I wanted to change, and I just had to weigh my pros and cons. And there were more pros than there were cons. I had to humble myself and keep in mind short-term sacrifice, long-term gain.
Okay. Now, now I know you talked a little bit about, like, you know, humbling yourself. Did you have any moments where you were just like, I can't do this. This was a mistake. I need to rewind. Like, can you tell me about that moment? And then can you just tell me how you kind of like got out of it? Because I mean, clearly you got over it.
There was, I finished natural hair school, got my license, and I was interning at the salon, Lucky You Salon and Suites, under Latika Mercer and Connie Hall, who are amazing. And I'm intimidated because at this point, I'm in the salon with Tika, master stylist, Connie, master stylist, 15 plus years of experience. My classmate that was in class with me, even though she just officially got her license, she'd been doing hair for a very long time. And another stylist that was doing amazing things with hair, teaching me things. And I'm like, my work is not anything compared to what they're doing. And I'd had a couple of clients that complained because they were like, my kinky twists aren't super secure to my head. And I was just like, I don't have it. I ain't got it. Like, how, I don't know what I'm doing. And I just was like, this might not work for me. I think that spirit was in me that, you know, a quitter never quits on themselves. So I decided that I wasn't going to quit on me. You know what?
Okay.
I can redo this, or maybe, you know, what tips do they have to help me get closer to the scalp so that they won't come out, or that they won't feel like it's not secure. And practice, you know, anything that you do, you have to practice. So I don't care if you're great at it, you still need to practice so that you can become better, until your better is now best, until your best could be more best. You know, you just constantly have to practice and humble yourself, and, you know, just really say, okay, take it in. Because I was telling someone the other day that constructive criticism, everybody's like, oh, I take constructive criticism and I'm open to it. Ain't nobody want to hear that. No one wants to hear they suck,
No.
right? So I feel like the first thing you need to do is take it in, feel that little hurt, because it hurts, right? It hurts to know you kind of suck right now, right? And then take it in, don't live in that place, and just say, okay, I suck today, but what am I going to do to be better tomorrow? And all I can control is tomorrow and how today ends. I can't control nothing else.
I like that. I love that. I love that. I love that, because that is so true. And I feel like a lot of people have an issue with kind of admitting that like, hey, I'm not good enough right now, without it completely being a deterrent of like, I'll never get this. You know, it's like, no, wait, no, just right now, you're not good enough, but tomorrow you can be better. And I love that outlook that you had on it, because I mean, I feel like if half of us could just keep that mindset, because I want to quit nursing school every other week, personally.
I mean, really, that's also key. Admitting that you're not comfortable. It's okay.
It's all right. if you're especially, you know, especially when you're new to something. Now, I know you talked a little bit about your natural hair care certifications, but what was the finances like spending money to go back to school? How was that for you? And then what other certifications or trainings do you currently hold as a natural hair care specialist or style? Like, I don't know how the title would
Yeah.
go.
So I'm a natural hair care specialist and I'm a natural hair care instructor. Natural hair care specialists, they are licensed to do natural hair in North Carolina. They cannot alter the natural state of hair. So I can't cut and I can't color, but I can do anything within the natural hair spectrum, not using any chemicals. Um, I when I first went to go into the class, I looked at the cost and I was like, okay, you know, it was like $750 or something like that. I was like, all right, well, let me save then. So I just literally took different pieces of like what I was getting paid and putting them to the side monthly to meet my goal. And then I just kind of set that to the side. Now let's be clear. So I didn't think this through, right? So I saved the $750, right, to pay for the class.
Yes.
Cool. Boom. Right? I didn't think about the fact that I need to get a book. I need to get a kit. I have to have scrubs and I have to have shoes and all these other expenses. I just had the $750 for the class.
Okay.
Okay. um, so that's also part of visualizing the whole plan to really book and get your financial mind around that. You can't just kind of see part of the plan because get paid for the class is half the battle, but then there was like all this other stuff. So I'm going to be honest and say that for those other things, it's called, hey family, I am thinking about going into school and pursuing this dream and passion of mine. If you are willing to contribute in any way, shape, or form, I will be glad to take donations. That's another key. Do not be too proud to ask for help. So I asked my family for donations. Whatever they gave was money I didn't have saved for it, right? So I was winning, regardless. So next, after that, after school and passing all that jazz, which also there was a state boards that you had to take, which was like 125 or something like that. And I just, by that time, I already understood that I'm going to need some extra money. So I started saving with that. And then after I did that, now I'm also certified for Sister Locks, which that class was that can be about $1,800. So what I did was found a stimulus class, which was a class that they had that they were discounting the price of to for an area that didn't already have Sister Locks in it. So they discounted the price to entice people to come to the class. And so instead of paying like the $1,800 class, I ended up paying $1,350. And I stayed with my mom, and my aunt took me to class every day so I wouldn't have to pay parking fees. And they also made my lunch. So I ended up not spending any money on that besides the class cost. And then I'm also a brand ambassador and are certified for Sister Locks, meaning that I can teach others how to retighten their hair. And I'm a brand ambassador, meaning that I'm supporting and upholding the highest standards of Sister Locks. Those were extra certifications. I also believe that if you're going to do something and this is your career and this is your path, then you need to become as certified as you possibly can so that you can be the wealth of knowledge in what you're doing. I'm also licensed in South Carolina. My title for South Carolina is a hair braider, but that since they don't have a natural hair license, that's basically a natural hair license for South Carolina. And I paid the extra cost of the exam to become a hair braider. So I am now dual licensed in North Carolina and South Carolina to do natural hair.
So just to make it clear, just so to show people that you have different avenues, you didn't have to go to cosmetology school?
Either do become a natural hair specialist or you can become a cosmetologist. Now, I would suggest that people become a cosmetologist, but if you do not have the type of work life to be able to do that, because cosmetology, I think it's 17 or 1800 hours, and I only had to take 300 hours worth of class for natural hair. But they're allowed to do color and cutting and all those things. They really teach them all those techniques. Whereas I only learned how to keep the health and do natural hairstyling. So cosmetology probably is not going to focus on all of that. That's going to be your natural talent. But natural hair is going to make sure that you hone in on how to properly detangle, how to take care of natural hair, how to shampoo, detangle, and all that jazz, do natural hair styling such as braiding. And actually, they teach you how to do sew-ins as well. But cosmetology is going to teach you how to color, and it's going to teach you how to cut. But that's also, realistically looking at your budget and looking at your time frame for what you're trying to do with your life. Like, I know for me, I was like, maybe one day I might go get my cosmetology license, but right now I'm good with this natural hair license. And that's going to take, it took about 6 months of my time versus cosmetology taking a year plus. And now I would like to go to cosmetology class, but I can't because I am booked and busy, Boots.
Tell me, what did you like about doing hair? What was the thing that was like, okay, hobby, career? Like, what was the like, all right.
It was the feeling that I had. When I do hair, I feel like I am in my happy place. Okay. This is where I'm like, and I get to really feel like I'm being myself. And if I want to even go cultural or even go spiritual, I really feel like it is my calling, and I feel like it's in my bloodline. I also love instilling happiness and confidence and freedom in women and children and men with their hair. I get to touch lives. I get to teach. I get to learn from my clients, and I also get to give them that freedom, and I get to speak life into them and speak positivity into them. I get to do that customer service that I already enjoy doing, but to another level. Like, one of the things I loved about retail was when I would put someone in something, whether or not I didn't, you were dressing them for different things. I dressed people for their weddings. I dressed people for their engagement that they didn't even know, birthday parties, or just the woman that just had her baby and is trying to get her confidence back. Well, the same thing that made me so happy to be a part of and to help share and make them better are the same things I get to do every day when I'm with my clients. I am doing their hair for their baby showers, their weddings, their just instilling their confidence in their hair, or just the fact that, it's like I never felt like I could do my hair or that my hair looked good. And now they're like, I love my hair, which also then instills the confidence in them to be able to love themselves and to be the best person that they are outside of what they get in here. And I want to give someone what I feel every day, just that positive. There's so much negative in this world right now. And I just want to be a beacon of positivity. So when you come in here, I want you to feel like this is your space. This is not the space to hold off for you to not be yourself. Be yourself. This is the space to say, you know what? I'm not having a good day, or I don't even like this person, or anything like that, or just letting it out and just really being able to, speak through things, have your own time.
Oh, that's awesome. And I totally feel that, like, shop love when I come in. We talk about random stuff. Sometimes we talk about you, sometimes we talk about me, but like either way, we're just like catching up. And you're right. Like when I do come, I come and I'm like, number one, it's a break. God, I don't have to do my hair because I tried once, and we all know how that turned out when I tried to retain my hair.
We were in a panic.
Never again. Unless I will never touch my hair again. And yeah, I just hope you do a really good job with the atmosphere, and it's really comfortable coming in your shop. That's why I come back, because I'm quick to be like, I ain't going back. Nope. But I thoroughly enjoy being your client.
Thank you. I enjoy having you as my client.
So now, a lot of people, a lot of stylists I've talked to have talked about bad shops and like, oh, like I can't work in a shop with other people. But like, Lucky You is like literally one of the first shops I've ever been to where like everybody seems like fam, everybody seems like home. And so it's like, what was and it seemed like that's the only shop you've been in, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was your shop experience like, getting out of hair school, making the contact with Tika, and then starting and then just working. Can you just give us a little bit of insight? What was that like, especially with you being new, having the doubts that you had when you first started as well?
Well, what made it great is that Tika was my instructor as well. So I got blessed to have Tika as my instructor, which then I interned at the salon and got credit hours for my class. And then she offered me a part-time position at the salon. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. You know, I already seen them and admired them. And like I said, was super intimidated. But I will say that it is a difference in being around women who are empowering, who want everyone to succeed, and who wants to teach you and not just hoard the information that they know. And that was the experience that I received. They are always like it's a common thing to say that you have a one hand up and one hand down. So you're getting pulled up and you're pulling someone with you. And that is literally the mentality that they had at their salon and continue to have. Like there's constant growth, constant help. No one's holding the other person back. Teamwork is the requirement at Lucky You. To the point where we never said that a client belonged to someone. So if I'm not available, I'm not going to be like, well, it's unfortunate. You're going to have to wait till next year. No, it's, I'm not available, but she is. And they were like, oh, so you're fine with me going to her? I'm like, yeah, because it's about you. It's about making sure we take care of you. And I trust her to take care of you because we're a team. Like we're all learning the same thing. We're all getting the same knowledge. We're all for the same goal. So it was a great experience of going for, and being my only salon experience, to learn things the right way, to not double book appointments. They weren't money hungry. The money's going to come if you treat clients right? So there's no need to book 5 people and you got one person you touching her hair for 20 minutes and going to the next person. And that's poor practices because it's taking away from the time that you're supposed to be giving to your client. How can you say that you're doing your best work when you're working on someone else at the same time? It's just different things that they taught us that way to, you know, you focus on your skill, make sure your skill is correct, and then everything else will come. Things that they taught that was helpful to someone that's new into the industry to get you to have a good set and standard of practices. How you conduct yourself with clients. How do you conduct a consultation? I know a lot of people these days are like, consultation? Why should I get a consultation? Like, but that's because it's level setting between you and your client. And they really taught us how to be professional about our business. And also that if they're paying for this, this is then their expectation. You have to deliver. So it was also holding us accountable to be the stylist that we're getting paid to be, you know? So it's kind of, it was a whole all-encompassing experience. And it also taught me different things about myself as a person and ways I wanted to elevate myself as a person, as well as a stylist.
And I will say, I've been in hundreds of shops probably at this point. And that was the one thing that I can honestly say, like, I know that when I come for my appointment time, it will be my appointment time. There will not be 3 people ahead of me in your chair. Because I have legit left places. Like, I'm not spending 4 hours in here today. Not doing it. I'm out. I'd rather just look like who done it and why for the next week and just go by a wig. I like honestly like that. That is life changing when you get a good, y'all, when you find a good stylist like that, it's life changing, okay? You can make plans after your hair appointment.
Yes, you can make plans around your hair appointment and feel like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be done by this time. And not that you're, you know, sitting there for 15 years and a slave and I'm holding you hostage and you're holding me hostage. Like, it's not going to be that way. But they taught us that with professionalism and that it does exist in this industry. You just have to.
You just gotta make that a thing in your shop, and that as a client, that's clutch, like so clutch. Why did you decide to branch out on your own and open your own business?
Well, COVID gives you time to think when they quarantine you and send you home.
Okay. I missed like two appointments, I think it was.
about like two.
Quarantine.
I was at home, and I'm going to be 100% transparent. I was depressed. Like I said, it was my happy place, but not even just the fact that it was my happy place. I spent so much time there that I wasn't even spending time with my family and my friends. And so the ladies at the salon were my family and my friends. And I literally cried up until we left, because I was like, who am I going to talk to? What am I going to do? Like, how am I going to survive? Y'all the only people I talk to like every day, right? And so then I had to like get myself together and like pull it together. And while I did that, I was like, well, how can I keep myself occupied and be able to still touch people and talk to people? And then I started doing my lives. So I started doing my lives, which just led me to, I wanted to grow my social media presence, and just really trying to get myself out there, because I know I have things I want to share. And I had an amazing mentor and coach, and she was like, you need to build a website, because, you want to always be able to be in control of your content. And I was like, okay. So I built the website, which was that's the glazed down version. That thing was hard.
We can talk about it.
It was not easy. It was a lot of day drinking, sipping, and prayers, and throwing the computer to the side and being like, hey, I can't do this. And so after doing that, I still didn't even think about that. A lot of people think that from how successful it's been, that it was like I've been planning this. I literally did not really think about it until we came back, and we were going into suites due to social distancing. And I was like, oh, I would like to try to be in a suite just to see what it would be like to be on my own. But I was assistant manager of the salon. Of course, they're not going to put me in a suite. But I didn't expect to feel like, oh, I want to kind of be in a suite. And then as, things were picking back up and the suites were starting to fill up, I had this feeling inside that was like, if not now, then when? Because I kept telling myself, you're not ready. This is not the time. Who opens anything during the pandemic? Not you, fool. Like, I kept telling myself, oh, no. But then I started to feel like, if not now, then when? Which was the same feeling that I felt when I was going into pursuing natural hair.
That familiar feeling.
I felt like, if not now, then when? And I started to take my nose away. Again, the pros and cons list, are you ready? What do you need to be ready? What would you need for that to happen? And when I thought about it and really looked at it, I actually didn't even think about it till after I just told them, hey, I want to go into my own suite and start my own business. I was like, oh. I had nothing ready.
That seems to be the plan, because the first person I interviewed opened a gym based off of a post that her wife sent her and was like, I don't know how I'm doing this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm opening a gym. So it seems like the go for it mentality is almost, it's terrifying, but it seems to be worth it.
It is terrifying. Like, I had a mixture of emotions. Like, I was excited, scared.
Okay.
What are you doing? The same feelings and things I got from my family. When I went to natural hair, my family was like, oh, so that's fine that you're getting a license for your hobby. And then when I decided that I was going to step down from my job and do this full time, are you in a crisis?
Oh,
a crisis moment? Like, what's wrong with you? Your 401k, your salary job, So now that they saw that I did this, they were like, okay, well, you made a good choice that time. And then I was like, okay, so I've just decided to go into my own business. Are you crazy? We're in a pandemic. Is this another crisis? You know what? And I didn't let everybody in my business. I just decided to do what I wanted to do. So I don't really listen to a whole bunch of people. Also, when I'm in my mode of switching something or after something, I really, even though I might be posting on social media, I'm not really watching. I now understand when different artists would be like they don't listen to music other than their own during a certain period of time so that they don't hear anything outside but what they're doing. I believe in that when you have a vision for yourself and you're doing something that is unheard of for yourself or that others think is unheard of you, for you to silence them. You don't listen, don't ask. Like even when people, sometimes people would be like, oh, I didn't ask you for your opinion. And I was not afraid to tell them, I'm not asking you for your opinion. I'm grown. I don't need you to tell me what to do. I need to hear what I need to do because somebody will talk you up out of your destiny.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody. Yeah. Nurse Liz, actually, I was watching one of her videos where it was basically like a you can't do this kind of thing. And she was pretty much like, you could not, which one would you regret more? Not doing it at all or trying to and failing at it, but at least attempting that thing? It's like, which one are you more okay with telling your kids? It was like, Mom, what did you want to be? Oh, a doctor. Why didn't you go to medical school? Oh, I was too afraid. Or why didn't you go to medical school? I did. I was terrible. So I walked away. When you changed to the suite, were there any upfront costs that you didn't expect? Anything that you were just like, oh my God, it's this much? Like, how was that change for you from basically being in the salon to on your own?
Everything. I told my mentors and my boss ladies, I was like, I already have my hats down to you, but I'm like even further, like, how do you do this? It's the management of time. You have to learn how to manage your time and also how to manage your money and what, like, kind of really quick figure out what's important to you and what you need. Um, for me, I don't have time for loose ends. I want things done, and I don't like to do double touching. So
Okay.
when I'm done, I'm done. So the upfront cost of having a room that's done is alarming. But I'm also a person on um, play to your strengths
Mm-hmm.
and pay for your weaknesses. So I am not good at decorating.
Okay.
That's not something I can do. That is not something I want to do. And I wanted it done.
Heard.
So I paid for someone to do my room. The other upfront cost is understanding that there's different costs for everything. I have to pay for my booking. Another unforeseen cost for me was my second phone line, so that I can separate myself from work, Ashley,
Yeah.
personally. Um, and I also wanted to have a place where it was just me and then it's just my messages from my clients. So I'm able to read and understand and know that all these things are from you and I can get back to it that way, not having to like any, mini, miny, mo, here's a message from a client. Boom, boom, boom. Here's another one. I want to be able to see you guys just straight out. But that is a cost.
Just a few questions about like your space. Did you have to pay for like your dryer or sink setup, or was that with the cost of your suite?
That's what the cost of my suite. My suite came with a sink and it came with a dryer because they have to provide a sink and they have to provide like a pumping area for me to have the water flow correctly. They did not necessarily have to provide a dryer, but they did, so I'm thankful for that. But everything else, like the chair that I'm sitting in, my styling chair, my mirror, any entertainment selections I have, such as my TV up there, all of my storage and stuff like that, paint. I could have paid for them to paint, but I went ahead and got everything done, all the card with my people that did my design for my room. But yeah.
During the transition, I mean, I know you're technically still in the same building, but did you have to worry about losing clients or anything like that when you transitioned from the shop to the suites?
Let me be braggadocious. Um, no, it's a blessing that I did not lose my clients from switching over. I knew that was a possibility because a lot of them are like true blue, lucky you people. And, but, you know, a lot of my clients do love me. And so they were just, you know, that was the plus of being in the same building as the salon already anyway. So for them, it's like, I'm just walking you up the hall.
Yeah. I didn't have to change. It's nice that I didn't have to change locations.
Yes. And I'm thankful for that. And I think that's a true testament to what they taught me. And it's something I believe in is that if you are good and fair to your clients, they will rally around you and support you.
I know the Twisted Up and Locked Down, that's between you and another stylist. So is that just like a separate t-shirt line, or is that like a separate business itself? Like, could you give me just a little blurb on that? Then when do we do this?
It is a whole separate business, and it is actually an apparel line and boutique. We have a whole lot more that we're trying to do with it, but where it grew from is that we were out at a hair show and I wanted to find lock apparel, like with people with locks, and I couldn't find any. I found words, lock goddess, melanin and locks, all that, which is great, but I'm like, I want to see a visual image of somebody with locks, and we could not find it. So that's where that came from. This is actually my client. These are his locks that I did, and this is him. We turned it into graphics so that people could wear it and see themselves with locks, and kind of breaking that thought process of natural hair not being clean, neat, professional, all those things that people will tell you that having your hair locked means. And not just with locks, but just also with natural hair in general, where, you know, we're made to feel like it's unkept, it's not professional, it's not beautiful, really visually having images to tell you otherwise. So that's where that came from. And it's with my business partner, Charity. We're both natural hair care specialists and stylists in the same building. And we were like, let's do it. And that happened and thrived and really came together right before the quarantine. We had just paid for the LLC and paid for the graphic and logo. And then the quarantine happened, and we were just like, we're not going to let that stop us from putting this out there. This is a vision that we want to have. So right now we have graphic tees, but we're going to have a whole lot more coming from it. You can find us on Etsy via my link tree.
Heard. Okay. And I will post all of Miss Ashley links down below. So please click the links and check her out. How do you manage your finances? Getting paid on a daily basis for, you know, for doing everybody's hair versus like, you know, I get paid every 2 weeks. How do you manage your finances?
So I'm already on a commission status, and I'm going to continue to keep myself on commission. So I get paid once a week, and I'm giving myself a percentage of that. And so I use that percentage for myself to then also take a percentage for my taxes, because remember, I'm an independent contractor and I'm self-employed. So taxes are not automatically taking out my check. So I have to have money aside for the I to the R to the S, and money aside for myself in my life. But I'm giving myself a percentage, and it's not a yes, it's not 100%. You want to make sure that you're putting money back into your business. And I would say that as a first-time business owner, it should be more of a 55-45, where maybe you're giving yourself 55% and your business gets 45%. And then maybe moving to 60, but you should never be giving yourself 100%. You should be giving money back towards your business to pay for your expenses, and so that you can also see a profit towards the end. My goal is to not just come out even. My goal is to come out with a profit when I'm done with my first year.
That's awesome. Now, what techniques do you use to get new clients? I don't think you have room for new clients, but if you needed new clients, and what techniques do you use to maintain your current clients? Like, how do you make sure we come back?
Oh, well, one, I market, and two, I learned from Tika and Connie to rebook. You rebook before they leave. Because if you don't, you're not giving them a supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
So you let them leave and be like, oh, I'll just call you. Okay, well, you just calling me is not going to take care of my life. So, you have to create your own buzz. So I was just like, okay, you can call me. And then the next time you call me, I won't be available. Now, did I know I was not going to be available? No, I did not. But I actually ended up not being available and then being like, oh, well, I told you to book that appointment. So now it's this time. And then be like, oh, also, I learned that with social media, it's the biggest platform that we have where we can access our audience directly and without a cost. So take your pictures, make work that you're proud to take pictures of, and have work where they want to be seen. Also, when I was at the salon, what I did was, even though my clientele wasn't booming at the time, um, I took the time to make connections. So while Tika was doing someone's hair, I would talk to their client, and get them comfortable with me. So then when she wasn't able to do their hair, or Connie, they weren't able to do their hair, they would be like, oh, more confident if Tika was like, okay, well, Ashley can do your hair. They're like, oh, okay, I know her. I got it. I got a good feel about her. So then they wanted to book with me. So that's how I was able to then be able to get that and always remember that everybody's watching. So when I did my work, make sure that it was good. I mean, that should always be your goal anyways. And to know that someone's watching you at all times. So that's how you get people to come back.
Heard. Now, the biggest part of this video is I want you, from your heart, from your insides, to tell people, like, can they do what you're doing? Do they have it? Is it too hard? Should they not even try? Like, what are your tips for people who want to be where you are? You want to be an awesome business owner, booked and busy, honey. Okay? Got a presence on social media, have a clothing line. I mean, is literally killing it. What is your advice for someone who's just like, I can't do it. I'm not even gonna start.
One, believe in yourself, because everybody will not believe in you, but you have to believe in you. You block out all that noise. Believe in yourself. Two, you can do it, but you're going to have to work hard. When you're starting any vision, dream, plan, business, nothing comes easy. And if somebody tells you that, they're lying. Even with how good this transition has been, it has not been easy. Be prepared to roll up your sleeves and do the work. I've worked till 1 o'clock in the morning. I work 2 jobs. You have to put in what you want to receive. It's not going to happen if you do not put in everything you have. And I'm not saying that everything you have is the best, but as long as you're putting in everything you have, you will receive the benefits. Always be good, kind, and fair to what you want. Give out the energy that you want to receive back. So I at least know that at the end of the day, when I go to sleep, that I have been good, I have been kind, and I have been fair. And I have made good, kind, and fair choices and practices towards the people that I've dealt with. I can rest well at night. Like I said, credentials get you credentials. Become the best at what you do. All those things will follow, but you have to become the best. It is not just simple to say, okay, I do this. And even if you can style great, that's great. But I'm going to be the best at what I do for myself. Not the best for everybody else in the world, but my personal best. So that means I'm going to get my credentials so that I can confidently speak to what I'm saying, and never stop having that imagination to dream and to do it, and make actionable, achievable goals so that you can actually see yourself accomplishing them. I started off with saying I want to get to 1,000 followers, and I was at 574. That wasn't really a non-actionable goal. I set a good time frame for myself so that when I hit it, guess what? I felt like I could do anything after that. You have to make really strong, short-term actionable goals that you can see yourself accomplishing, so that when you accomplish them, it makes you want to achieve more. It's like psyching yourself out. And just be humble, believe in yourself. You're never too great to learn something new from someone else, and share. You cannot get ahead in life keeping everything to yourself. You're not going to benefit because somebody shared with you. I hope they did. And if they didn't, find someone who will. And when you get it, you share it with others, because you will not receive your blessing by holding all the possessions and holding all the jewels and all the knowledge to yourself. You have to be a blessing to somebody else and share what you learn and spread what you want to receive out in the world. So I feel that I'm blessed with my clients, and like just the fact that having you as my client has now led me to be able to do this. And that's because, like I said, at the end of the day, I have been good, I have been kind, and I have been fair.
Hey, you have. Well, I know you gotta go because you're booked and busy. Well, I just want to say thank you so much on behalf of the Positive Spa here. This is Stacy and this is Ashley, and we are signing off. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you too.